Hello, all of you. Hello, good evening. Just a mic check. Can you see me? Just type you can see me if you are seeing me. Yes, can you all see me here? Hello, everybody. Am I audible? Are you all listening to me? Can you hear me? Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. I can see so many of you here are here. Thank you, Jyoti ma'am, Vandana Gupta, Megha, Rachna, Priyanka, Kirti, Fatima, Sukina, Rani, Anju. I welcome each and every member for this session. I can see now I think we are more than 100 in this room. Thank you for being so punctual here. But I can just read some messages. I just want to know from where you all are, your place and city. If you can just mention quickly, we can give 2 more minutes for the members joining into this room. So if you can all just let me know from where you are into this webinar room. So please, yes, Pune, Bangalore, Mysore, Tamil Nadu, Bareilly, Maharashtra, again from Bangalore. Thank you, Sandhya, Sindhu, Ketki. Hi, Ketki. Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Ahmedabad, UP, Punjab. I really welcome each and everybody here present here. And I know that you were invited for this free webinar to share some amazing secrets that we can take straight into our classrooms. So I was also really waiting for this opportunity to share this knowledge with you. I welcome each and every member because, once if I just look at these things, I cannot look into the camera, but definitely thank you so much. You're mentioning all your places. After this session, I'll go back and just see all of you from where did you join this webinar session. So please don't mind if I'm not taking your name. I'll definitely go through the list once I finish this session. Now, a formal welcome to all of you for today's free webinar masterclass with your friend Rajni Rao. So from this session, because we are all live here, we are able to interact here. I will I'll just call all of you as my friends, and I hope we are friends too. So how many of you think now we are friends in this session? After this session also, how many of you are friends? Please comment in the comment box if you think we can be good friends from now. Yes, thank you so much. So looking forward for a long-lasting bonding. We are all now friends, and let me now formally start this session. Yes, I'm now sharing my screen with you. I'm sharing this screen with you. A formal welcome to each and every member to this free webinar. As promised, you will get 3 secrets in this webinar. The first is how to enable a 5-year-old child read a story by the age he is 5 only with the basic sense of A to Z. Number 2 is how we can bring in logical thinking, critical thinking in our classrooms consistently through our lesson plans. Then number 3, the third secret is how we can bring discovery-based outcomes consistently in our classrooms. So when I'm saying consistently, that means that we are not doing this once in a year or twice in a year, but on a very, very consistent basis. So I will reveal to all of you these 3 secrets, and let's see how this webinar progress. So I have a video before this presentation. I have a video, but even before that, let me tell you, I'll just share my screen again here. Yes, before even I start the video, I want all of you to take notes because we are sharing so many things in this session. So I want all of you to have a notepad and a pen so that you make notes of the entire session that we will be discussing. Number 2, any questions you have, please wait till the end. Last 10 to 15 minutes will be a Q&A session. So you can ask me any question, any doubt, and I will definitely answer all your questions. So this webinar is for 90 minutes. So anybody, having any other plans, please see to that you are here with me for next 90 minutes. You are here with me for 90 minutes and you will not leave this space. So, what are you getting given before the announcement of the webinar? Today, you have a free gift in my webinar. The gift is if you stay till the end of this webinar. Please note, if you stay actively till the end of this webinar, you are going to get a e-story book. Yes, you can see this on the screen here. If you are staying till the end, I'm going to give you a e-story book. This is a story book of 26 stories that you can use in your classrooms to introduce letters. So to introduce all the letters A to Z, this is a tried and tested stories that children have always enjoyed in my classrooms, in my school. So you will get this e-story book as a free gift if you are here till the end of this session. So how many of you want this free gift? Now I'm looking at your messages. How many of you want this storybook, 26 storybook, A to Z storybook, which your children will definitely enjoy in your classrooms? So I humbly request all of you to stay because you are giving me your time, and it's my duty to give value to your time, because you could have been doing anything, but you are here with me to learn. You are giving me 90 minutes and it's my duty to give back something to you. So as a token of love, appreciation, and to show my gratitude, I am now giving you all this storybook at the end of the program, and you can definitely download this. You will get a link and you can download this from your phone. So as I told you, this is a 90-minute session. Take notes, but now I want all of you to watch a video and tell me. You need not type it, but you can just make note of 2 things that really amazed you. So now please have a look at this video. Can we have the video presentation here? Yes, we are about to start the video, and here we go with the video. I hope we are recording this. Can you all hear me? Can you hear me? Yes, thank you. So we have played this video before also on our page there at Legion Academy, but this is my favorite video. Every time I watch this video, I will understand how important it is for us as educators to first bring in the awareness of what is 21st century. So we will now go back to our slides and we'll start with the presentation of today. and start checking out with the solutions that we need to. So before that, I'll tell you what the slide told us about. It is about the global workforce that we will see our young ones. 21st century kids will have to work and survive in global workforce, mastering the skills of communication, collaboration, and confidence. The second slide says English will be the major language for communication in global workforce in 21st century. Do you all agree? The third point that we all noticed was 21st century demands the high order thinking skills, which is inventory based. The next slide says that many jobs students will have to do in 21st century don't even exist yet. The next is 21st century kids will have to use technology and skills which hasn't invented yet. My dear friends, I have made a detailed video on the challenges of 21st century. I want all of you to go and watch. Those who have not watched this video, please watch this video to understand how critical it is for us to now take the next big leap for the 21st century education. So just briefing you about the 21st century. Now I'm going to share some industry statistics that we all belong to. You may be a teacher, trainer, school owner, principal, coordinator, or a parent. Parent is the first educator. So it is your duty to know how this industry is heading. So the major reports, ACER is a report, that is annual report by NGO Pratham. It states that an average of 18% of standard 3 kids can read class 2 textbook. I'm giving you an average. The highest in Kerala being 20%, and even many states in India still have only single digit percentage. Only an average of 20% of kids can use the skills that they've learned in the class in real life application. So children are not using the skills that they are learning in the classroom. So let us now see what else does the industry say. The National Education Policy Draft of 2019. I am giving you the latest review drafted by Dr. Kasturi Rangan and his team and presented to HRD Ministry. The latest report says that India has not attained foundational literacy yet. And if we don't cover this gap by 2025, there are chances of 1 crore of children get into illiteracy. So my dear educators, please understand the importance of literacy, that to foundational literacy in the child's growing year. National Education Policy also states that our education system is lacking application-based methodologies in the classroom. For example, if the child can do an addition sum in the class, he cannot apply that education knowledge in his outside world or in real life experiences. So it is very, very important for us to bring in application-based methodologies when we are talking about foundational numeracy. So we discussed about literacy. Now it is about numeracy. Coming to environment, National Education Policy says that we are strongly lacking a discovery-based or inventory-based methodologies and pedagogies in our early education system. There rings an alarm because these children, which we saw in the video, will have to now survive in the 21st century global workforce, and we are not giving a discovery-based an opportunity to invent, to discover in our early years. So the brain development, as it says, that the brain develops rapidly till the age of 6. As early educators, what are we doing with these young brains? Do we have an answer for this? Let's look what we have to share in today's webinar. Do you agree, after watching this video and after watching all these things, giving you all the reports, do you now agree that English will be one of the important language that the child has to learn? The speaking and the reading skills, I don't emphasize on the writing skills, but speaking and reading skills are two important skills that the child should master at the early years. So do you now agree, or any one of you think that Spanish, German, Russian, any of these languages could take over by next 15, 20 years and English would be of no use? Is there anybody? Comment. Thank you, Sukina. Thank you so much. Is there anyone of you think that English may not be an important language in future? Thank you. Thank you. Not at all. We all understand this. As early educators, we all understand that English is the important language, but what is our preparation? I told you the problem. I gave you the gap. But how are we prepared to cover this gap and fight together to eradicate this problem? Let's see. So a survey report says by 2025, our country will need more than 5 lakh teachers who can impart foundational literacy and can bring in discovery-based pedagogy in their classrooms. So the same survey says that by 2025, the teaching is the most noble profession, and you and me, we know we are so proud of being teachers. So another feather on a cap, we are young educators here who are really molding the young minds. Every time I step into my school, I feel so blessed because I am shaping the young minds, the new generation year after year. We are the first ones to nurture. We are the first ones to take care. So I really feel very, very blessed to be an early educator. And I know if you all think you are blessed to be an early educator, one thumbs up or one yes here in the comment box. Can I see some yes and some thumbs up? Thank you so much. Now I'm giving you a code word in the entire session for me and you to interact. Even after this, I'll go through all the chats and I'll understand. So there is 3D. Whenever you feel happy, whenever you think you got a new tip or you are amazed with something, you can just type DDD, means done, done, done. 3D. That we can take this to our classrooms and we can start implementing. So let us see how many DDD, 3D, that is done, done moments you and me can have in this webinar. Okay, done, done, fine, very good. I can see so many of you resonating with me. You don't believe on the other side of the screen. I'm getting so much of energy just seeing this DDD. Yes, we'll have many, many done, done moments in our webinar. Now the world is changing. Change is the name of the game. I told you in my previous videos also the Darwin's theory that only the species which can adapt to the change can survive. So my dear educators, there was already an alarm for us to change, and with this COVID, and this COVID situation has blown this out of proportion, and now we don't know how the post-COVID session would be. We don't know what could be the demand. We don't know what could be the expectation, especially from early education, because unless and until we lay a foundation, what can the higher teachers do? Do you all agree? We lay foundation, and only after that, the higher classes will build that knowledge. It is we who lay that foundation. So post-COVID, there are so many changes that is expected from this early education and early educators. You, my dear friends, lots of changes are expected from us. And how are we empowering ourselves to face this change? How well are we aware, and how much do we need this to adapt this change? Yes, it's high time, because we now need to take the next big leap and prepare ourselves for at least keeping next 5 years in our mind. Thinking of next 5 years, we will have to adapt the changes, look at this problems from 5, 10, 15 years from now, and prepare the young ones. So time is changing, and my dear teachers, we will have to change. We will have to change all the old practices that we blindly followed, all the old methodologies that we just, took it as a tradition and we followed. We will have to shed all those old thoughts that we all had till now. We will have to now embrace a new wave of change for us, for you and me, to take it into our classrooms. Yes, if I embrace that new wave, I can take it to my school, to my classrooms, to my children, and we can see the complete classroom or complete era transforming into new freshness. So now I want to tell you, coming back to slides, I told you about the survey. Now, so what am I doing now? So identifying all these problems, now I have researched. So all these problems, all these hurdles gave me an opportunity to research on how we can help and bring in foundational literacy, foundational numeracy, and discovery-based education in our classrooms. So coming to literacy, I was invited to Finland to address an international symposium in April, but because of this COVID, this has been postponed. So I had my research ready to present in Finland, and I identified 10 problem points that the child may face in attaining foundational literacy. So you have detailed videos. You can, those who have not watched those videos, please go back. I have given you the detailed problems that the child face, and you can understand this much better. So what are you getting in this today's webinar? I called you from 1 week. I've been inviting all of you to be here, to be in this webinar. So what are you getting in this webinar is formulas, solutions, techniques, and results to solve the problems on the hand. We have so many problems as educators, we are struggling. So you are getting many formulas and solutions for the problems that we have on hand. So now, even before that, so this was the introduction. This was about webinar. Now I said hi to all of you. All these days, I just introduced myself as Rajni Rao. Can I just take your permission to introduce myself again, once again, so that I may talk a little bit about myself. You understand what is myself about, why am I here, why am I doing these things. So can I just take your permission to introduce myself? If you say yes, I'll go ahead. I think you're all answering a poll here. Can we enable the chat? Yes, I can see chat here. So will you all permit me for next 3-4 minutes for me to introduce myself? Yes, thank you so much, Indumati. I can see Poonam, Kashish, Ranjita, Anandita, Vaishali, Anupama, Gemma, Nivedita, Suprita, Dandanadan. Thank you. Now I can go ahead with my introduction. I was a happy homemaker till 2011 with 2 young boys. So I was really very happy making my family, making my home, my young 2 children who were young then. So till 2011 and almost 14 years of my married life, I was a typical homemaker, a Brahmin homemaker to put myself more precisely. I was a homemaker, and only in the, 2011, I realized that now kids are growing up and I really need to do something in my life. But at that time, I was out of college. It was almost 13-14 years that I was out of my college. Then I had no precise qualification, no work experience, no certification. I had nothing for myself to place myself in any of the job roles. Then I thought the only thing I have, a skill that I have or the experience I have is raising 2 boys. I was very interested in their upbringing and also teaching. So one day I saw an ad, there was a call for a preschool teacher in my neighborhood 8 years back, just 8 years back. Then, you know, with a lot of speculations, I just went to face the interview for the very, very first time in my life. And, you know, with I'll not drag the story. I was offered a role of teacher for 3,000 rupees salary. So in the year 2012, I began my journey as a teacher with 3,000 rupees salary. So after that, I had various opportunities to grow and evolve. So if I request all of you to visit my website to know more about myself, I've given in detail. So after getting teacher, I thought that this is the best thing that I can indulge myself. And this is what I would love to do throughout my life. I understood this. I realized it very, very early in my profession that this is the one thing that I can enjoy throughout my life. Then I started my own school the very next year. I came up with branches, and then I understood the necessary or requirement for qualified teacher who are classroom ready, just not with the Montessori or a NTT certification. We want teachers who are classroom ready, who can understand the requirement of a classroom. So I started my teachers training institute, and we had trainees who were where we offered advanced, basic and advanced diploma in integrated education system. Later, I got an opportunity to design and develop a curriculum, and I designed my curriculum and I became a publisher by offering academic curriculum, that is my curriculum. And now more than 300 schools in India are using, in 3 states are using this curriculum. Later in 2020, during this lockdown, it was again, the time for me to reform myself. Everything was, steady. Everything was done. My responsibilities. Suddenly, March, I was like, what am I going to do in next? Because I anticipated that next 2 to 3 months, definitely things are not going to help. And this is the time that I will have to invest on my education and my transformation. So I made up my mind again very early during the lockdown, and I took up a digital course and learned how I can digitalize my knowledge or my experience, whatever I know. So that was a 1 month course. I had to do it day and night because I was a digital illiterate. So it was very challenging for me to cope up with that illiteracy and gain the digital literacy, but I did it. So within 1 month, I was a pro in digital thing. I made my own courses. I was ready, and now I was ready to face the world through social medias. It is only after then that we met on the Facebook platform. So in the year 2020, I'm here in front of you as offline. I'm a learner first. Yes, I will be a lifelong learner. I'm a teacher and I'm very proud of being a teacher. I'm a principal of a preschool. I'm director of Teachers Training Institute. I'm an author and I've written many stories. I've started authoring. So I'm a curriculum developer and I've developed my own curriculum. I'm heading a publishing company as Chief Executive Officer. I'm a trainer and I've trained more than 2,000 teachers offline. I'm a speaker and I've represented all national and international events. I'm a researcher and I've researched on 21st century education. I'm an inventor. I've invented coding phonics methodology, and I'm a course designer who have designed coding phonics program. So this is my offline introduction, and online, only from past 1 month, I'm a digital coach. I'm reaching to you through this digital media. I'm a digital influencer. I'm trying to influence each one of you. I'm a digital entrepreneur because now I have my business online here. I'm an affiliate marketer because I will be selling others' products very soon on this platform. I'm a blogger and I'm enjoying writing blogs and doing podcasts. So this was my very brief introduction, and this was my journey from 2012 to 2020. So here I am in front of you, and again take this opportunity to thank each one of you for being here and being in Legion Academy and following my videos. Let me now just have a look at these comments coming up. Thank you so much. I cannot take each and every name, but thanks each one of you, those are commenting. I'll just definitely go through all your comments later. Now, how did I achieve this? I think I need not tell you this because we're all educators. This was not easy for me to achieve within 8 years of time. I had to do a lot of sacrifices. I had to give up on so many things. I had to come out of my comfort zone, crushed my comfort zone, gave up on so many comforts in my life. And the only thing that kept me motivated was learning. Whenever I saw an learning opportunity, any workshop, any training, anywhere that knowledge was available, it became a obsession for me to go and join that workshop. I would feel so disappointed, guilty if I could not make for any of the workshops, trainings. I now stopped buying clothes, buying accessories, investing on my cosmetics. No, every pie that I earned, every single rupee that I earned, now I wanted to invest on my learning, because that started giving me a lot of kick and I enjoyed learning and sharing. Knowledge is of no use if I keep it to myself. if I empower only my teachers, if I empower only my parents and my students, knowledge is of no use if it is not shared with the right people. So this was one thing which kept me motivated from the beginning. I always wanted to share knowledge with everybody. Whatever I gain, whatever little knowledge, I don't say that I know everything, I'm a pro. No, I'm just like you, nobody better than you. But I wanted to share with more and more people. So life and universe gave me opportunities to share with a bigger, and now I have the entire world in front of me to share this knowledge. How blessed I am. I'm really thankful to the God for giving me this opportunity, and I gained all these things through a lot of hardship, sacrifice, tears, sleepless nights, travel, and crunch of money. So I had to face all these things, and I had to become here whatever I am today. Next is, what is my mission? After doing all these things, I told you knowledge is of no use if I'm keeping all this accumulated knowledge with myself. So now I'm on a mission to empower 100,000 early and primary educators to enable millions of kids around the world attain 21st century mastery and succeed in their lives. Yes, it is very important for us to survive in future, my dear educators. If we are not taking this leap, if we are not changing ourselves and understanding the future demand, very soon with present situation, we will have to perish. If we don't change, then we should get ready to perish. So I'm on a mission to empower my lovely teachers around here. So each and every teacher here, my mission is to empower them and share the bit of knowledge that I have. So I am on this mission, and I request each one of you to join me in this mission, and let's all fulfill this problem of attaining foundational literacy. How many of you are with me? Let me just check one thumbs up. How many of you are with me in this mission? Thank you so much. See, my gratitudes to you. I have no words to express if you are all here with me in this mission. Thank you very much, each one of you. So let's move ahead. Now I'm starting. Now we have arrived. Please take notes, notebook, keep your pens and book ready. Now I shall be briefing about you about the research that I did to bridge the gap of foundational literacy. So I'm taking the term coding phonics. It's a very new term for you, all of you. So this is the methodology invented by me, and it is patent protected. So we have applied the patent rights on this methodology because this is going to, you will see, you and me will see in future how this methodology will emerge across the globe. So this is a patent protected methodology, and we have the copyrights. So as educators, you can all use this methodology to teach in your classrooms. You are at your liberty. Please go ahead, use this methodology and teach your kids in the classroom. But any sort of monetizing this skill, printing or publishing, is offensive. So this is the disclaimer that I wanted to give. So take your notepads and pen, get ready. We will now dive into coding phonics, the methodology which will give solutions to all the problems that we discussed from past 3 days. So hoping that you all have your pens ready. Again, the language development happens in 4 phases. The first phase is listening. The second phase is speaking, reading, and only writing. So I have detailed videos about all these 4 elements, how it is important, which is first important, which is last important. So I've given the detailed video. You can just watch in my YouTube channel, that is Legion Academy. But now again, for listening and speaking skill, I am giving you a free storybook. You can use this in your classrooms to narrate story wherein the listening skills will be enhanced. And when you're comprehending the story, that kids will really enjoy, speaking skills and language development can be enhanced. So for your listening and speaking skills, you have my storybook, which you can take. And moving next for reading and writing. Reading is a very important skill that our children are struggling with. To enhance this reading skill, now I'm going ahead and trying to find out what is the problem. So starting this, if we want to attain the reading skills by the age of 5, then the solutions start at 3, not at 5. We are witnessing the problem at the age of 8, that is in class 3. And what are we doing for the solution? Can we think of any solution at the age of 8, my dear teachers? Rekha, yes, I can see your message here. Thank you. So can we think of a solution at class 3? Is it possible? Can you just tell me? No, we can only identify the problem, but no solution is available for us at the age of 8 because the foundation is already laid. So we have to think the solution from the age of 3. So now my solution covers the nursery program or the 3+ program to bridge the or not to land in the problem at 8. So now at the age of 3, what we do generally in nursery, we introduce these letters. So I'm just talking about the problems first and then the solutions. Yes, the child can identify letters, the child can identify pictures and the words. Coming next, in the junior program, what is the target of the junior teacher? The children should read. Children should read these words that you're seeing on the screen phonetically. So they know the phonic sounds. Anybody, a sound child, can read all these words phonetically very, very well by the end of junior program or 4+. So what happens in junior program? We will also start making sentences. So these are the short sentences that you're all watching. Any child of age 4 or early 5 can easily read these sentences, and we assume that we have attained foundational literacy because the child is reading words, writing words, dictation, writing sentences, answering simple questions. Then where is the problem? We all assume that we have already attained the foundational literacy. So let's see what's the problem again. Let's see here. So now I want all of you to take out a minute. Hope you're all able to see the screens. Please hold your phones in a vertical manner so that you can see. So can you try to read these words phonetically? Those who did not attend yesterday and day before yesterday's video, I want all of you to take out 1 minute, become 5-year-old child and try to read these words with single sounds. Please. Is it easy for a child of 5 years or 4 years to read these words with phonetic sounds? May I know your answer, please? No. Yes, definitely. 100%. No child can read without the next level of understanding. They cannot read these words. So the gap arises from here, and the junior teacher will send these kids to senior KG. What happens in senior KG? Senior KG teacher will now take ahead with more sentence formation, more of little bit writing words, introducing simple lessons, and making the child read. Some grammatical skills are also introduced at the age of 5 or in senior program. Now in our program, hardly we introduced some common blends. Am I right? We only introduce some common blends, right? How many of you agree? So it is only some common blends that we introduce, and we don't know how many blends or what amount of blending knowledge the child should have before he reads a sentence. So the first gap is here, and we need to fix this gap so that it is almost 90% covered that the child will not land in the problem at the age of 8. So now what I hope you have all try to read this word. And now coming the third set of words. Those were the second level of words. Now this is third level of words. If you see, I'll just read the word. If in class we have to take the phonic sounds, it is act, right? It's absolutely right here. A, k, a. This is ace. A, g, a. A, g, o. A, x, a. A, p, a. A, r, m. A, I, r. A, w, a. A, n, y. Can we imagine the child to understand the rules in this to read? My dear teachers, again, one more result I need from you. Can you think average child, a very, very average child in our classrooms whom with we deal, can they read these words without any effort? So it is so obvious that the child starts struggling with English language from the age of 5. But the poor child is very, very young to come out and tell that what is his difficulty, because everything looks like German and Spanish for an average child who doesn't understand the relationship between the sounds in the words. So the interest, the difficulty level starts from here, and no teacher can bridge this in the later classes or later grades. So now the fourth set of words which appear very simple, it's very, very easy for us to say that these are sight words. But if I'm a child and you give me a sentence, how will I know which are the reading words and which are the sight words? Because every time I start reading with, every word is a new word for me. I no more read Sam, cat, bat, mat, fat. Every time I try to read a new word. Now, how will I know whether this word is a sight word or a reading word? Next biggest challenge, and you know, my dislike for language goes on increasing. So identifying the sight words is the next challenge. Then what happens? Reading sentences. Yes. Now I'll go very slow in this slide. My dear educators, there's a sentence, first sentence that I also wrote on yesterday on the board and asked you, how can the child read this sentence at the age of 5? Are you all trying to read this sentence? E, a, s, a say, p, e, l, a, w. At is a very easy word. N, e, g, h, t. How can I read? If I'm your 5-year-old student, ma'am, believe me, I cannot read your language. It is so difficult for me to understand unless and until you give me a formula for me to understand. So this, if you go through this, if you just go through all the sentence within a minute, become a 5-year-old child and try to read this word. 1 minute. I'm just waiting here. And I also want you, how many of you are trying to read and difficult? If it is difficult, please type difficult here for a 5-year-old to read these sentences. How many of you think it's very difficult? Yes. Thank you, Pushpa. Thank you so much. All of us understand that this is the difficulty level. So from now, we will now think of the solution, the methodology that I have invented through Coding Phonics. So Coding Phonics is a method